You know, it's really hard to think about snow when we've been enjoying the 70s, but tonight, a plan to prevent a repeat of this mess on Indy side streets after that heavy snow we got in January just cleared a significant hurdle. Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 11 o'clock. The city of Indianapolis, one step closer to having a new permanent snow removal policy. That proposal is now heading to the full council after passing out of committee tonight. Our Logan Gay was at that meeting this evening and shares what this means for Indy residents. Logan?
Well, Scott, this is good news for Hoosiers. The Public Works Committee is recommending the council pass this proposal. If that happens, Hoosiers should see a big difference the next time we see heavy snow.
Icy snow-covered streets, cars stuck in piles of snow. January 2025 is going to be a month that will not be forgotten for a while. The state got one of its biggest snowfalls in years, and that's when thousands of Hoosiers learned that more than 1,000 miles of residential roads were not included in the city's policy, which meant they were left to dig themselves out or hire a snowplow contractor. Now, outcries from those residents is leading to this historic change to the Indianapolis snowplowing ordinance.
Now setting it up to where there is going to be a threshold. So in this city, what we're saying is that at 2 inches of snow, the connector streets are now going to be plowed. That is a part of city ordinance. And at 4 inches of snow, all of the residential streets are now going to start to get plowed. Now, there are some exceptions. Perhaps if it's going to be 45 degrees the next day, we may not come out and plow, assuming that the warmer temperatures will help melt a lot of that snow.
Now, how DPW plans to get this done, well, that's up to them.
So we've just came in and said, look, we want our residential streets plowed at this threshold. We want to make sure the connector streets are plowed at this threshold. And then we're entrusting the Department of Public Works to come up with the policy that they feel will best be able to address that.
We reached out to DPW, who said they support the proposal, saying in part, "We will work to gather a fiscal statement to reflect the contents of this amendment. We look forward to continuing this conversation as we prepare for the spring fiscal and annual budget process." The councilors hope their actions show constituents their frustrations were not in vain.
We heard the constituents' frustration, and we wanted to make sure that we took care of that and worked for them, and that everybody was working together to make sure that we had a good product for them.
So after the committee's unanimous recommendation for the proposal, it now heads to the full council for a vote on April 7th.
Logan, thanks so much. Thankfully, not expecting any heavy snow in the 7-day forecast, but Angela's talking about some windy conditions and overnight storms tomorrow.
Yes, so we're on alert for Friday night and early Saturday, and then perhaps again Saturday afternoon and evening. Big weather system coming our way. The good news, nothing's going to slow you down. Out the door for your Friday. Morning temperatures in the low 50s. Dry conditions as we get into Friday for the St. Patrick's Day parade. 60s to start as the parade begins at 11:30, and high temperatures tomorrow afternoon near record levels. We're going to be dry all the way through the early evening hours of Friday. This is 9 p.m. You can see the line of storms developing out to our west, bringing with it the threat of severe weather, including tornadoes across parts of Illinois. This, we hope, will weaken a bit as it starts to move our way. Unfortunately, still expecting that threat of severe storms and the potential of some wind gusts over 60 miles per hour. I'm going to continue the local timeline, walk you through the rest of the weekend, and a big temperature drop on the way.
All right, we'll see you in a little bit, Angela. Thanks. Tonight, a man is in critical condition and a driver under arrest after a hit-and-run crash on the southeast side of Indy. Police tell us that a vehicle hit a man on a motorcycle near Raymond Street and State Avenue, then allegedly took off, parked the vehicle, and then ran away. Police finally were able to track him down and take him into custody about 1 block away. Tonight, police are telling us they believe that suspect may have been intoxicated. Tonight at 11, some relief for the loved ones of that pizza delivery driver after a man accused of killing him is found guilty. The judge in the case convicting Justin Turner of murder and robbery during today's bench trial. You remember back in 2023, Turner ordered pizza under a fake name and had it delivered to a vacant home. Prosecutors said that was just a setup to rob Steve Flynn, who was found shot near 16th and Arlington, and his car stolen. We were in the courtroom for today's trial as security video was shown capturing a car driving away. It was ditched about a mile north. Security cameras caught a man on camera carrying 3 pizza boxes from that area. Flynn's family attended the trial today. They're relieved at the result, but they tell us nothing is going to bring their loved one back.
Myself, my whole family, none of us can put it, you can't put it behind you because it is so senseless. It just makes no sense. So each and every day we miss him, and couldn't have happened to a better person. Steve was just one of those great guys. He didn't get to meet his grandchildren. He's had 2 grandchildren since he passed. In fact, Cosette was born the day of his funeral. So it's just tragedy on tragedy, you know. He was a great dad, and he would have been a great grandfather too.
Turner is expected back in court May 9th to learn his sentence. Tonight, a 45-year prison sentence for a 16-year-old convicted in the murder of an Indianapolis man. Jeremy Allen Briscoe was arrested last March for the death of 21-year-old Carlos Neri Guzman. He was found shot in a car that crashed into a home near 56th and Raceway Road. Briscoe was just 15 when he was arrested, but later charged as an adult before he was found guilty. Tonight, we've got an update for you on a story that 13 Investigates has been following in Delaware County. A Muncie firefighter accused of orchestrating a cheating scheme has now been stripped of his firefighting licenses. So this punishment against Muncie Fire Captain Troy Delaney was announced this morning by a state fire board. They revoked all 26 of Delaney's firefighting certificates after a state investigation found he collected and distributed questions and answers to certification tests taken by firefighters and EMTs.
I think the message is that if you are an instructor or if you're a participant in the fire service, you have to follow the rules. And if you're cheating your way on the test, it can't be tolerated.
Last year, an administrative law judge determined the state had not proved its case against Delaney. Then they recommended not revoking his firefighting credentials, but today the board ignored that advice and decided to do it anyway. Here's a look at the other stories making headlines tonight. A man is now charged for killing a woman whose body was left near a dumpster last August. IMPD tonight confirms that Wesley Clark Jr. was taken into custody yesterday on an arrest warrant for the murder of Yolanda Shields. He's expected to make his first court appearance tomorrow. Police in Lafayette just released surveillance video of a shooting at a laundromat in December. Police say the shooter, Lewis McLaughlin, drove from Nebraska to the laundromat where he opened fire, shooting 3 people, killing one of them. Police say McLaughlin thought people in Lafayette were controlling his mind. After that shooting, he left the business and took his own life. Tonight, IPS is rolling out a plan to prevent measles outbreaks in schools. While there is no confirmed case in Indiana, the school district wants to keep students safe as spring break approaches.
We are doing a lot of preventative work because that's really important to make sure that if it does come to Indiana, we are not going to be susceptible.
Vaccine coordinators are reaching out to families right now to provide information on vaccinations and outbreaks in other states. Now, if a measles case is confirmed at an IPS school, exposed students without the MMR vaccination on file will be excluded from school for 21 days. Work on the Michigan and New York two-way road conversion project is back underway. You'll see construction near Pleasant Run Parkway and New York Street. DPW is telling us that work along the railroad at Michigan Street starts later this month. Remember, you can find all of the day's top stories anytime on your phone by using our 13 News app.